Video games have always been a big part of my life for as long as I can remember. Growing up, my dad was obsessed with Nintendo, and it was always a stable set of consoles in my home. In the 4th grade, my after-school program ended up getting iPads, and we got a bunch of free games on them. One of the free games was the demo to Minecraft, ironically. And Minecraft is something that stuck with me over the years, and it has helped fuel my creative drive, especially when it comes to video games. In middle and high school, I constantly kept up with indie projects. I thought they were cool, and what they were creating was cool, especially with such small teams. They had very supportive and strong communities, which I found incredibly inspirational. I decided that with this self-learning project, I would make the time to teach myself the skills that I've been so invested in. But before we get into the details of the project, you should probably know a bit about me and my education. I'm a digital media production major with a minor in IDS and digital media leadership. If I were to pick two bundles, I'd go with digital advertising and digital video. I'm really interested in video production, obviously, and I really like making advertisements for products, people. I really like helping getting people's voices out and helping grow. Anyways, back to the project. I got the idea from a D&D session I had with my friends. I thought it'd be really cool if I was able to script in our sessions into a video game to kind of share it with some of my other friends. So this was my idea, a page-style scripted video game to kind of tell a story, more so like a visual book. And I would split this project up into 3 sections to go along with a blog post. The first phase was the observation phase. The second was the collection phase, and the third was the application. The observation phase is where a lot of my tutorials and video watching occurred. I watched and took notes on a lot of new information when it comes to things like coding styles, game design, etc. One of my favorite videos was by this guy named Freddie, who gave a really short video, but it was very to the point, giving core fundamentals for those who are wanting to start video game design and how to get those first few steps in. What I learned during this phase was the key differences from game production programs. For example, Unity or Unreal Engine, as well as the differences between Blueprint and C++. I ended up picking Unreal Engine because I thought Blueprint was really accessible and very visual for me and would be a lot much easier to get used to and learn. During the second phase, I started collecting and building my skills with hands-on tutorials. I took the time to create a Pong clone, as well as a really bad top-down shooter that no one will ever absolutely see because it's really bad, but it got the point across. I was able to get hands-on experience with Blueprint, and I feel a lot more comfortable in the program, and troubleshooting problems has become a lot more easier since I've had to troubleshoot that nightmare. I am so incredibly grateful for Blueprint. For those who do not know, Blueprint is a visual scripting system that allows developers to code without directly coding. Think of it as instead of spelling out each word to make a sentence, you have every word already built, but you just need to know how to use it and where to use it. Blueprint was truly a lifesaver because I'm definitely more of a visual person, and when all the nodes got mixed up, that was it. I was done. The third phase was application. This is when I followed up with my big tutorial that helped me set up the bare bones game that I had in mind. I ended up scrapping the scripted part of my plans to pursue a more open world 2D platformer. While I dropped the more scripted storytelling, I gained more freedom in a less constricted world. I spent a couple days applying mechanics like player rotation and movement collision. I also spent a lot of my time with custom designs. The only problem was that I heavily underestimated how long these sprites and characters animations would take to make. I can confirm I spent over 28 hours and over 250 frames designing sprites and decor. I believe it's all worth it. As you can see, the game playing in the background is what I completed. Though I lost the story aspect of my original ideas, I was able to gain more flexibility and raw practice with the system. I ended up sharing my work to one of my old roommates, who referred me to a friend who just graduated from Ohio State for computer science. She told me that she recently got a job at a video game productions company that's working on a bunch of small projects, and eagerly invited me to come help out after seeing the work that I've done in this project. I think that's really cool, and I might take her up on the opportunity. To summarize, this project has given me the time to actually sit down and learn something I thought I'd never be able to try. It gave me the first push, and I'm still planning on working on game more over winter. Though a lot of things still had to get scrapped to make time for others, I think I'm really happy with what I was able to accomplish. I would like to add some extra details on how this will help me in my future and what I would like to do with these new skills. With my major in digital media production, I believe this gave me another outlook at a creative outlet. Film doesn't have to be my only avenue of storytelling. Now I have the ability to create my own stories and share them in several different ways and formats. This project also brought back my love for graphic design and art in general. I probably haven't drawn this much since literally middle school. I'm really happy with how comfortable I got on Blueprint and Unreal Engine as well. It honestly really surprised me. I found it very intimidating at first, but with all the notes that I took from my beginning study sessions, it really helped out having like a notebook of all the information I could probably need. I still needed to absolutely Google a bunch of stuff, but my notes were a good first place to check that most of the time got a good chunk of it. I don't think I'm perfect at Blueprint. It's definitely a skill I should continue working on. There's definitely been multiple hiccups where I've needed to console another friend or even take a walk away from the computer for a little bit. A lot of that comes from all the work I've put up to, and I think that's really been something I'm able to reflect on. I'm hoping to take these abilities and join a very creative field in my future that would allow not only having to choose between the medias, but maybe a form of both. Maybe a video game company that also does like short cinematics, or a film company that decides to dabble their stories in some video games. They go both ways, and I think both fields are very heavily interconnected and can work very well together.